Putazos y Pendejadas Podcast.
David, Tuesday morning at the ESPN Arena in Osaka, Japan. One of my favorites, the Ameijingubōi Kenshiro Teraji faces Carlos Canizales. Kenshiro Teraji is 22-1 with 14 knockouts. Carlos Canizales is 26-1 with 19 knockouts, David. They are fighting for the WBC, WBA, and Ring Magazine championships that Kenshiro Teraji holds. Kenshiro is on his 16th title fight in a row, David. 16 world title fights in a row for this guy. 7 knockouts out of his last 10 opponents. He did lose one, though, David.
Yeah, it was against Yabuki. He had caught COVID prior to that fight. Tried to come back a little bit too soon. Still looked good in the fight, but Yabuki caught him with a left hook to the liver right around the 10th round. And Teraji could not recover. So he did come back after that mark, though, got revenge, 3rd round stoppage in the very next fight.
His last 10 fights have been amazing, man. He's always
They've been really fun. They've been really fun to watch.
He's a fun dude to watch.
You talk about Mexican style. He fights like a Mexicano. Teraji likes to throw a lot of punches, but he doesn't just throw punches. He sets up his punches. He has a really good right hand, but he also has a left hook to the body that he uses to open up his opponent's guard. Teraji's thinking about his attack all the time, and he's throwing lots of punches at you, but they're always purposeful. He's not just going out there winging shots. And what a lot of guys do when they fight him is they cover up like this. So how do you open up someone's guard? Well, they're protecting their head, punch down to the body, bring the arms down so that you can hit the head, and vice versa. They're protecting their body, punch the head, they're gonna block the head, and they open up to the body again. I mean, it's chess, right? You're always playing chess in there. And Teraji is very much an offensive chess player. He's always looking for openings, and he uses his offense to create those openings. Very fun fighter to watch. Comes in and he gives you a show, and I think a lot of people can appreciate that. Even though a lot of people in the States don't watch 108 pounders, they're not as popular here in the States. If you guys just tune in and watch, I guarantee you'll become a fan of Teraji.
He's always in a fun fight. If you remember the last fight with Heikki Butler, he fought in 13 title belts in that weight class. So, he's been facing good opponents. The fighter before him was that undefeated prospect from America. What was his name?
Olasquaga.
And those two were really, really fun fights. Both of them were barn burners. He's always in a great fight. Even the fight where you mentioned he knocked out Masamichi Yabuki. I mean, he knocked him out in amazing fashion. I think it was the 3rd round, right?
Yeah. He stopped him even sooner than he lost.
And then the one before, when he lost, that was a great fight, too.
That was a fun fight, too, still, yeah.
Yeah, so he's always in a good fight. Carlos Canizales, he's 26-1 with 19 knockouts, man. How do you see this fight going?
I don't expect Canizales to give Teraji too much trouble. The one thing we do know, Mark, is Teraji likes to mix it up, and he gets hit. He gets hit clean because he does kind of have some holes in his defense. He's a little lazy with his hands. He doesn't bring them back. So he's not always responsible with his defense, even though he puts up a lot of offense. A fighter like Canizales with 19 KOs, that you could be asking for some trouble there. I don't think Canizales will really give Teraji too much trouble. I expect Teraji to take care of business, but that's why we tune in to watch the fights. You never know what's going to happen, especially with an action fighter like Teraji.
Yeah, that is, troubling me a little bit as well. I don't know if the Ameijingubōi wants to go in there and be lazy with his guard the way he is all the time, leaving his chin out there all the time, because Carlos Canizales does have 19 knockouts. One thing we do know is it is going to be a good fight, because Kenshiro's always in a good fight. And what does Canizales have to do to beat a Kenshiro, with everybody expecting Kenshiro to win? Well, basically just get in a fight with the guy, right? Because he's going to, leave himself open. And, just like what happened with Masamichi Yabuki, he can get knocked out. The Ameijingubōi is always in a war, but he always seems to be on the right side of that war. So there is a possibility for Canizales to win, but I give it to Kenshiro. I think he'll knock him out in the later rounds, maybe 7-8 rounds.
One thing I'd like to keep an eye on is see if Canizales attacks that body, because we know that's where you can hurt Teraji is to the body. I haven't seen anybody really been able to stun him badly with a shot upstairs.
Right, he's got a granite chin.
That may be something that Canizales needs to focus on, is try to attack that body.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, Kenshiro Teraji against Carlos Canizales. I predict Kenshiro with a TKO, probably late. David, what's your prediction?
Putazos.
Putazos. There definitely will be putazos.
That's my little twist. That's my little twist on Clubber Lang. Pain. What's my prediction? Putazos. There's going to be putazos in this fight.
Well, the amazing book, Kenshiro Teraji versus Carlos Canizales, Tuesday morning. Tell the people where they can see it on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, so it's going to be a Tuesday morning fight. You can catch it on the ESPN app. But we suspect the main event to start around 6. If that's too early for you, again, you can always watch it on demand later that day. Thank you guys for joining us once again. Don't miss the amazing boy Kenshiro Teraji Tuesday morning. Please remember to hit that 3-punch combo, like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you guys on the next one.